Good morning, y'all, and welcome to my little corner of the universe. All right, we are fully peppered, salted, seasoned, and ready. Okay, we have our beautiful cup of joe, from which we are going to take our dedicatory, no, I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds right, dedicatory sip to the late, great Scott Adams. Okay, and the coffee today, can you see that? Ugh, it's luscious. It is luscious this morning, okay? Now, before I start talking about my coffee and I go on my rant, apparently y'all on the YouTube algorithm like to have a little recap of like, what exactly is this for? Which makes sense because it's like a book. You like to know what the contents are. So I'm going to be talking about Bride of Charlie Part 3, okay? And give him my little feedback on it. It is not a substitute for watching Miss Candy O's videos, all right? Because as of right now, they are a very entertaining part of my life, okay? I view them as entertainment. I think that Candace Owens is a very good investigative reporter. I don't think that she is so unintelligent that she would be getting on to air to millions of people things that were not factual. However, I think that Candace is a muckraker. I think that her entire job, and we know this, right? Like, you just have to watch her channel. Her entire job is built around muckraking, right? And like scooping out drama from people's lives and making watchable TV of it, right? Because that's what this is. This is highly entertaining, watchable TV, okay? And in my opinion, when you view it through that lens, it's fantastic, right? Like, this is better than any true crime TV that has ever been put on the airwaves, right? We have to look up American crime TV shows, actually, because I know there are a bunch of them that everybody, like, we want true crime. So there's 48 Hours, there's Forensic Files, there's, the first 48 Hours, you've got Unsolved Mysteries, right? You've got multiple medical examiner shows, you've got, you can't hardly, you really can't hardly shake a stick without like hitting something, right? Especially in the United States about crime. And Candace is the modern epitome of that. But anyways, I'm 3 minutes in and I haven't really given you a synopsis. Well, I have, right? Like, I'm watching Candace Owens, Bride of Charlie Part 3. What my opinion of Candace is, I think she's a fabulous muckraking drama reporter. But to recap, so far, I don't think she's put forth anything that in a court of law is prosecutorial, okay? Like, she just hasn't. Everything that she's brought up is, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon away from Erica Kirk, right? Like, okay, so what? Her family's into some, like, weird lottery scam shit. Like, unless you have documented financial ties and evidence of knowledge on Erica's part, like, there is no crime, honey. I hate to tell you that, right? And then the rest of her kind of synopsis here is that Erica is a gold-digging hoe who was only dating Charlie because he was going someplace, which, like, okay, and like, Candace's own husband, I'm pretty sure, is a lord in the UK. All right, like, maybe let's recognize that we're a pot before we start talking about the kettle, okay? Like, there's, and personally, that's kind of what I find incredibly entertaining about this, is that I think there are a lot of moments where Candace reveals a lot about herself and her personal biases, and that's my goal of watching these videos. First of all, it's entertaining, and second of all, because I want to offer an alternative view to watching this as a form of news, right? Like, is it a form of news? Sure, but it's not a bit. It's exactly the same as if back in the day you went and you sat in the town square and the local neighborhood Karen was telling all the business, right? Like the local Karen, like Goose was out honking in the streets, telling all of the hot goss that she scooped up at the town, you know, the town fete, or like the, you know, the little assembly that happened last night, right? Like that's what this is. And is it entertaining? Does it make Erica? Yes, it's absolutely entertaining. Does it make Erica Kirk look great? Well, not particularly, right? I think that, again, that's part of why I'm reviewing this is I know my lane babies, all right? I'm not telling you what to think about it. I'm telling you what I think about it, and I'm telling you that you ought to go watch it yourself because it is highly entertaining, all right? Can't write this. If you put this in a TV show, no one would believe you. But it's real life, which makes it magical. Had to have a little sip of coffee here. Just take a moment, okay? We're gonna take a moment from my little rant. So good, all right? And I'm reviewing this from a coaching perspective, right? Like proud recipient of the Coaches Award 3 years running, all right? And varsity track and cross country all 3 years, all right? Why did they give me the Coaches Award? Not because I was the best, but because I was the fucking hungriest, okay? I wanted to beat all of these hoes even if I knew I wasn't gonna win, all right? And I wanted to encourage everybody around me to do so as well, all right? I got the Coaches Award because while I was out there and I was on the field, the coach basically didn't have to do shit, all right? Because I'm a competitive hoe. So I'm out here watching Candace and learning from Candace, and then also looking at Erica and learning from Erica and giving critiques based off of these performances. Because life is what, darlings? Nothing but a stage. All right? So we are observing the players in it, and this is my creative feedback. Okay. All right? So we're going to just let Candy Girl like run in the background here. I'm gonna skip through some of it because like we really don't need to like listen to her rant about all of this. So pardon me. Okay, so she's like going on and on about, you know, kind of recapping the first episode and the second episode. And honestly, we're 3 episodes in. This is 3 hours of everybody's life. And frankly, other than dragging Erica's really hilariously lottery entangled family members that, I mean, she really has not presented anything here. So she's still going on about Erica's parents and like their wedding date and this, that, and the other. And like, and darling, I mean, I think her parents got married in the 80s. Like, Candace was not around in the 80s. She don't know. Okay, this is pre-computer. This is when people had to do shit by hand. You had to, you know, trust that people were listening to you and paying attention and not more, you know, interested in their internal personal life and, you know, the fact that their partner was mad at them over breakfast, right? Like, whatever. Okay, fine. Like, I really don't care, like, whether or not Erica Kirk's parents' wedding date is accurately confirmed across, like, 18 pieces of paper that Candace has dug up from, like, 1982. Okay? Frankly, I don't care. All right? It's not really relevant to this situation. Candace is just trying to, like, draw as many threads as she can, right? And then she starts talking about Erpenbeck. Now, the Erpenbeck tie, if you were doing an entire series on Erica's mother, which apparently really is what Candace's entire series is about, in my opinion, is that it's really about Erica's mother, Lori Franzwey. And because all of the evidence that she has proposed thus far really is just pointing to the fact that Lori Franze opens a lot of small businesses and works with a family called the Erpenbecks, who have a history of scandal alongside her own family, the Lori Franze's mother's, and her family connections to the lottery, which, like, again, just watch the episode. It's entertaining, but, like, frankly, like, I don't know. And then she, like, keeps going on and on about these Erpenbecks and the Erpenbecks. So one of the Erpenbecks is an attorney that has worked with Lori Franze on a bunch of things. She goes through, like, a whole back history on the Erpenbecks and, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, great. The Erpenbecks have a sketchy history. What does that have to do with, like, we're still missing the bow, which honestly, I woke up this morning and I knew I had to do this review for this video. And this is why I usually do them directly after I've watched, because, like, I'm kind of over it, right? Like, she's 3 hours, 3 episodes in, and she still hasn't given me one, like, legitimate thread to be like, hey, this is what she's accusing Erica, right? So then she gets into what me, being a little pageant girly, was really interested in, right? Is, like, Candace keeps bringing up the beauty pageant contestant thing, right? And how this is somehow deeply relevant to who Erica Kirk is as a character, right? And I don't disagree, right? But I think that Candace clearly is viewing it from a much different perspective than I do, right? Like, the things that she talks about and the things that in the way that she tries to talk about them, in my opinion, illustrate a personal chip, right, that Candace has about not receiving, propaganda flyers for participation in the mail when she was a young woman, which, like, I'm sorry you didn't end up on the mailing list, honey. Like, I don't know what state you lived in. I don't know what neighborhood you were in, but this was a really common thing back in the day. Like, because you didn't have the internet, because there was no, like, ad targeting algorithm on the internet, there was barely internet. If you were an organization and you were trying to drum up participation, you can get a mailing list. Like, you have always been able to, like, get a publicly listed mailing list from, like, the government, the post office. Like, you can request these things, right? And that's why it's a big deal if people get their personal information unlisted. Like, you have to go through a process to do that. Otherwise, like, people can just look up addresses, and they've always been able to do that, right? So back in the day, if you were a small organization and your financial livelihood depended on the number of participants, right? Like, let's say you had, instead of Miss USA, it was a summer camp. Let's say you have a summer camp, right? So you own a summer camp and you want more people to attend the summer camp. You go to your local governments, you go to, local governments within an X mile radius. You get addresses for families that have kids between X age and X age. And because we know this due to the census records, and you start sending out flyers, right? Like, oh my God, it's brilliant. Absolutely unheard of. Wow. Groundbreaking, Candace. It's like, holy hot patooties. What are we going to do? Wow. And Candace wasn't on one. And because Candace wasn't on one, I mean, it means that they just don't exist and Erica's made them up. Like, so then she goes into, like, okay, yeah, so Candace, like, goes on about this mailer, and they play the clip again where Erica's talking about, like, how she got into pageants, and frankly, like, I believe it, but it's also a really, like, pageant patty answer, right? Like, and so she's, like, Candace is trying to imply that Erica was groomed for pageants and that, like, she's making this up and that somehow, like, participating in beauty pageants connects you with, like, MK Ultra, right? Like, I really don't know where she's going with this beauty pageant angle, right? Because as of right now, this is what Candace has. Candace has Erica Kirk's mom may or may not be allegedly a LLC fraudster, and B, Erica Kirk was involved in pageants and she was groomed by her mother and by MK Ultra, CIA, child psychologist goons, right? Like, these are the two buckets that like that Candace has, right? Like, and she says that every year, this is Candace's big drop, right? About, like, the grooming in the beauty pageants. And this is her, I believe, in Candace's mind, debunking Erica Kirk's statement that she started getting into beauty pageants because she got a flyer in the mail, and she did it because of community service and being a part of her community and being able to give back, right? Like, that's Erica Kirk's answer. I got a flyer in the mail. I really wanted to play basketball, but it was a good opportunity to get some community service hours in and, you know, beef up the resume, basically. And Candace is like, oh, that's a lie. She was groomed, because from 2005 to 2012, Erica Kirk competed in beauty pageants. Candace Owens is saying that Erica Kirk was allegedly groomed because she chose to compete in beauty pageants from 2005 to 2012, which in Candace Owens' mind is like forever. It's a lifetime. Like, oh my God. Groomed. Like 7 years. She competed 7 times in a beauty pageant. Oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I don't know what, I mean, clearly, and again, to me, this says a lot about Candace, right? Because she keeps harping on this. She keeps, like, talking about this beauty pageant thing. And frankly, like, what's the relevance, right? Like, if you think that 7 years worth of competition is grooming for a beauty queen, I have some bullshit to sell you. Okay, like, I really do. I got some Enron stock that I need to offload. All right, like, can I sell you a meme coin, Candace Owens? Cause, like, girl, is this it? Is this all you have, sweetie? Oh my God, 7 years of her life that we could find that she was doing beauty pageants. She could have done more. Oh my God. And then, oh no. And then she's like, here's some pageant people that said some stuff. And then she's like, oh my God, a pageant person told me that, like, minors can't be solicited. Sweetheart, she wasn't solicited. She was sent a flyer in the mail to her parents' house. And she absolutely, like, didn't submit her beauty pageant application without her mother's knowledge, right? Like, these are two separate things. Like, yeah, you need a parent's permission to participate in a beauty pageant if you're a minor, but that's because you need a parent's knowledge to participate in anything if you're under the age of 18. Okay, like, groundbreaking. Wow. And then, but she's trying to somehow say that because you need a parent's permission, that means she couldn't have possibly gotten a flyer in the mail, right? Like, or been solicited. And like, honey, that's bullshit. Like, you clearly don't know how flyers in the mail work. Like, are you kidding me? Are you really, like, Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. I mean, really? Yo. Oh God. And then she really gives her, Candace really gives herself away. She's like, maybe I wasn't pretty enough. Like, why didn't I get a flyer? She's like, maybe I was a little funny looking. I had a bit of an underbite. I never received any of these mailers. Like, okay, you never got the mailer, Candace. A lot of us did. A lot of us did. I think I probably got mine. Oh my God, it wasn't 2005, but it was probably around then. Like when I got the flyer in the mail, it was definitely something that they were doing just as a policy back then. But it was probably 2008. No, it may have been 2005, 2006, something like that. I don't know. I'd have to pull out the old programs, right? Like, hold on. I can just look up the title holder. Let's see. Let's see. So I remember the teen that won the first year that I competed, okay? So 2008, all right, so I can remember getting one. It was probably 2007, 2008, because the title holder that won the first year that I competed was Julia Dalton. Her older sister ended up becoming Miss North Carolina a couple of years later and winning the Miss USA title, Kristen Dalton. And, but yeah. Anyways, so, Julia Dalton, she won Miss Teen North Carolina in 2008. So it was like, let's put the timeline at 2006 to 2008, right? Flyers were absolutely going out. I got one. That's how I found out about them. All right, like pre-internet, this was a thing. So Candace is like losing her mind about this. And then she pulls up Erica's, like she has a full like Word document note of like 2005, what is Erica doing? 2006, she starts competing in Miss Teen, the National American Miss Teen pageant, which is not a big pageant, which typically if you decide you want to participate in something like Miss USA, a lot of highly competitive pageant girls compete in smaller, less prestigious pageants, right? Like I'm not saying that I know nothing about National American Miss Teen, okay? I know nothing about that. I've never heard of it before, but pageants in the United States are like dime a dozen. But there are about 4 or 5 now beauty pageants that are considered like the creme de la creme of beauty pageants. And a lot of beauty queens, especially when they start out doing smaller ones, right? Like you're naturally going to go do like Miss Strawberry Festival first, see how it works out, see how you like it, and then proceed to compete in larger and larger pageants, which is what it appears Erica Kirk did. She got a flyer in the mail. Who knows what beauty pageant it was for? She doesn't say, and I'm sure this was pretty universal across a lot of beauty pageants. It wasn't just Miss USA that did it, but I can attest personally that for me, it was Miss USA that sent me a flyer. So she lists out, oh my God, she starts competing in these things. And she's like, trying to link her mom's like tax filings and LLC things and like residency and like just goes into Erica Kirk's like, I need a napkin because I made a mess. You know, she like goes into her pageant history and this, that, and the other. And like, I forget where she tries to go with this, right? Like, okay, so she tries to like link Erica winning the beauty pageant and like being in the beauty pageant with her mom's work for local government. Like, okay, like, I don't know. Like, you need more than this, right? Like, you really just need more than this. So she keeps going on about her winning beauty pageants and like, that after, so Erica, I think, ends up winning the national pageant. So in 2006, she ends up winning the national pageant that she chose to compete in. And then afterwards, in, you know, various news article documents from newspapers that Candace pulls up, Candace is trying to say that somehow Erica disappeared, and that was when she was like mind wiped and turned into a beauty pageant drone by her mom and her elementary school, like dad's ex-wife's, like MK Ultra alleged ties. Like in 2008, that's when she like is disappeared and turned into a pageant drone, right? Because she chose to take a year off. Like, again, Candace, clearly you've never met, talked to, or been around any serious pageant competitor, like ever. Because as far as I know, it's pretty common for beauty queens after they accomplish the title that most of them do spend years working towards. They have a post-win, post-title malaise. Like, because of course you do. This is years of your life that you have been working towards a singular goal. You do it in 1 year and you come out of it and you're essentially no one, right? Like, there are a lot of organizations like Miss America that try to do a good job of recognizing and honoring their forever queens, as they're called in the Miss America organization. But like for most beauty pageant queens, like once your title is, your reign is done, you kind of fade into the background, which can be a very disjointed and discordant state to find oneself in. It really can. And I never had to experience that because that's just not the way that my cookies crumble. But you know, like, this is normal. This is a normal thing. And I think it's normal for anyone who has a long-term personal goal that they spend years trying to accomplish, right? Like, I have a lot of friends who were extremely talented athletes in their amateur years, right? Like in high school, in college, they were very talented athletes. But the reality is that a very small percentage of very talented athletes go on to become professional athletes. That's just the way it works. So there are a lot of people that I grew up with, that I'm friends with, that once they had to come to terms with the fact that they were never going to be a professional athlete, despite all of the time, effort, money, finances, personal investment that they put in, that dream wasn't going to become a reality in the way that they thought. They also had moments in time where they had to recalibrate their view of themselves. They have to recalibrate what they do with their time. They have to just sit down and reconnect with themselves and reevaluate who they want to be as an individual. And, you know, that I think happens. You could probably ask, like, even, you know, I would bet, so the Olympics is a really good example to draw here, right? Like, I would bet this probably doesn't happen for all of them, but I would bet that for certain Olympic athletes, after you win the gold medal, or you go, and especially for the ones that they participate, but they don't make the podium, right? Like, what about the athlete that comes in fifth? What happens to them mentally when they have to go back home, right? And this is a reality that anyone who competes seriously at anything has to come up against. So to immediately say that because Erica Kirk decided to take a year off competitively after her reign as a title holder that was a national title, okay, it's, to me, it's just a really stupidly long stretch to say that instead of just taking time for herself and quote unquote disappearing, as Erica herself says, like, that you would take time to just be with your family and be with the people that you kind of just interact with the most, right? Like not going out and not being overly social, kind of taking time. It's basically like taking a gap year, right? Like, it happens. This is not unusual, right? Like, especially before social media was a really big deal, right? But anyways, she goes into Erica's like college record and how 2008 is like a quote unquote missing school year. Like, I don't know. And then there's more like Lori Franzwe stuff. Like, again, not Erica, but like Candace never really ties any of this to anything. Okay. Like, okay. All right. Going on to talk about like her college, playing basketball there. Okay, so Pastor Crone, whatever, like, again, Candace is just using language to try and draw ties and make some of this stuff sound like sketchy, right? Trying to link it to like a military intel base, like, and then she's trying to say that when Erica disappeared for a year post giving up her title, giving up her national title, that Erica is somehow in this year, when Erica herself, let me backtrack. So in the year that Candace is trying to say Erica was like mind wiped, zombied into a pageant drone to go seduce Charlie Kirk, she was being trained to be a Christian so that she could go out and do this, right? Like, that's what Candace is postulating here. Because Erica said that she quote unquote disappeared, which back in the day before social media was really a huge thing, you could do. You could just not take pictures and post them to Facebook and like life would go on without you. Okay. And Erica says that she spent the year with her family and really spending a lot of time with her pastor's wife, right? Like, okay, great. Is it something that I would do? No, but that's because I have no desire to go and hang out with like my pastor's wife. I also don't have a pastor, and like, I'm really not religious in that way. All right. I have a really big beef with traditional organized religion as a whole, right? Like, I just do, especially Western religion. Yeah. I have a beef with it. So I'm not going to be talking to any pastor's wife for like a year because that's my closest personal confidant. It's just not going to happen. But I know a lot of young women who do. Okay. There are an enormous amount of young women in this nation who do spend time like that, studying the Bible, trying to connect with their religion because it adds some meaning to their life. It adds direction. It gives them a philosophical roadmap with which to navigate hardships in life. Like, that is what religion in its purest form is meant to do. And to say that like she wasn't doing that because Candace can't dig up muck on her actually doing that, and that really that means she was at like for, you know, what am a duty, getting her mind wiped by the CIA. Like, sweetheart, are you okay? Are you all right? Like, I know that this is your job. I know that this is what, like, you have to muckrake to make money, right? Like, Candace Owens makes money with the number of viewers that she gets on YouTube, right? Like, this is her job. But, like, sweetheart, she took a year off because she was depressed, because she, like, needed to find redirection, went to church religiously, like people who are religious do, got, was close with the pastor's wife, because who you talk to in most Protestant evangelical churches, if you're a woman, you talk to the pastor's wife. Like, sure, you talk to the pastor, but, like, the pastor's wife is there to talk to women because she's a woman. Like, my God, this is not hard. Like, sometimes I have to genuinely try and remind myself that, like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, and then she pulls up, like, tweets that Erica made in 2016, and she's now tying Erica to, like, Hillsong, which, if you don't know what Hillsong is one of those, like, mega churches. There's a lot of, like, I think Hillsong, I don't know an enormous amount, but it's, like, one of these, like, southwestern mega churches that, like, has taken over the world. It's it's originally from Australia, as a matter of fact. Okay. But, like, I'm on their website right now. That's why I'm taking a little time to, like, talk, but, they've got, like, a college now. They've got, like, churches and shit all over the place. Like, I don't know. She's saying that she's got a tie to this Hillsong church, which, like, hold on. Hillsong church attendance. Let's see. So you're talking about at least 150 to, like, 200,000 attendees, right? And they had a lot of scandals. So they've had a lot of scandals in, like, 2020, like, during post-COVID, they started having a lot of scandals. But the scandals are a relatively new thing. And, like, if you know anything about ultra religious, like, especially these, like, new age, like, rock and roll, alternative rock wannabe mega churches, right? Like, it's still a mega church. Like, I don't trust any of these dipshits. They're all sketchy, in my opinion, but there are a lot of people who feel drawn and connected to this particular type of, in my opinion, fanatical devoutism, right? Again, not my flavor, but, like, it happens to a lot of people, right? But just because you end up going to a cultish church does not mean that, like, you got mind wiped by MK Ultra, right? Like, that's not how that works, Candace. But I wish it was, honestly, because it'd be a lot easier, because then if people really were all systematically being mind wiped by the Australian mega church called Hillsong, then we could just take all of the Hillsong attendees, put them in their own little commune together, and, like, not let them vote. And then problems would be solved. But, like, that's not how that works, right? But anyways, Candace desperately wants to, like, convince you that Erica Kirk attending and becoming religious is somehow actually a MH370 CIA child psychology, like, mind wipe conspiracy, which, again, she has not proven anything, in my opinion, to any satisfaction of anyone that was looking to do any kind of serious look into this. All right, I had to go get Sir Beeps a lot. He's got a lot of lint in him right now. So let me clean that off really quick. All right, Sir Beeps a lot. All right, so anyways, again, I think the beauty pageant angle really is just the only little thing that is publicly available about Erica Kirk, besides her basketball history, that Candace is trying to tie to her, second and third connection, family associates. So like, again, I'm sure Candy is going to be dropping a lot of episodes this week because she is going to milk this cow as long as possible. If you don't think she was retaping episodes over the weekend in order to add content, or she was re-editing episodes over the weekend to add content so that she can stretch this out even further, I don't know what to tell you, because that's absolutely what Candace Owens is doing. Because she is very good at her job. I will give her that. But again, I just think that this beauty pageant thing, like, where are we going, right? Like, dishonest. She's talking about, like, dishonest people. And she's trying to talk shit about, like, people saying she's a grieving widow. Like, and then she's trying to claim that she cares more about Charlie than Erica and TP USA. And then she's asking, like, why is she now CEO instead of being at home taking care of her children? Well, I have a really easy answer for that one. I don't think Candace is going to like it. But the really easy answer for why is she CEO and not at home taking care of her children, which I'm pretty sure her kids are probably just coming with her. Like, Erica Kirk has enough money that she can have an assistant, a nanny. She can pay her own mother to just come and, like, help keep track of the kids, right? She's got 2 of them. Pretty sure she can keep doing that, right? Like, this is a modern age. But anyways, let me not ramble too far, right? We're coming up on an hour. Her husband was just killed, Candace. She has to do it alone. It's her husband's business. It is her business. This is her form of livelihood. Her husband was killed. Is she supposed to just trust someone else in this company that you are yourself alleging has potential fraudulent financial goings on? And you think that Charlie Kirk's widow should let someone else be in charge of the organization? So, and that goes both ways, right? Like, if she is in cahoots with whoever is doing this fraud, which Candace is clearly postulating that it's her own mother that's perpetuating this alleged fraud that's happening within TPUSA. So let's say Erica Kirk does know and is aware of this fraud by her mother. Then why would she not be CEO? Like, if she knows and she's a part of the fraud and she's in cahoots about this fraud, why would she not be CEO? Like, Candace, I know you're not retarded, honey. I know you're not. Like, if she is part of the fraud, of course she would be the CEO. Why do you even... Asking this question is stupido, okay? Because again, if she's not, if she doesn't know about the fraud, if she has no idea about what's going on, but let's say that she does, right? Let's say that we take Charlie and Erica at their word, okay? Let's say that Charlie and Erica are really an incredibly dynamic, loving, attached couple, right? And she is flesh of his flesh, rib of his rib, like she is his, right? And he views her that way. Because in all of the interviews, all of the conversation, this was something that Charlie Kirk himself talked a lot about and believed deeply in, that they were a unit, that his success depended on her success and her happiness, and that they worked together in tandem, which means that you have to go under the assumption that Erica Kirk was the single most important individual in his life. And he has told this in multiple interviews, that she is the single most important person in his life. And you think that he wouldn't have talked to her about a game plan, especially as you yourself postulate that he has people out to assassinate him? You have yourself said, Candace, that you believe Charlie Kirk knew he was about to be assassinated, and you think he didn't tell his wife? You think he didn't have long, involved conversations with his wife, the mother of his children, about that being an eventuality? You think that he didn't talk to his wife and talk to her about the fraud that he thought may or may not be happening within the organization that he loved so much? You think he didn't talk about that? You think a man who had this foresight and who had the gut instinct that his life would be taken from him and he would never be allowed to accomplish what he had set out to accomplish for himself, you think he wouldn't have sat down and had a conversation about that eventuality with the mother of his children, who he has multiple times in multiple interviews said, this is the most important person in my life? Again, are you stupid? And she told, let's say that we take Erica Kirk at her word, right? She doesn't know. What's the best way to find out about it? Let Candace Owens over here muckrake about it. Let her go. Let that dog run to the end of his chain, okay? Erica Kirk doesn't have to put any work. Erica Kirk doesn't get her hands dirty. Erica Kirk can sit back and let all of the rats that Candace Owens is forcing to the surface get hot, okay? Because then she can go through and she can come out and she can call these people from an organization that meant a lot to her husband. All right, that is the postulation of the side that says that Erica Kirk, is not involved but knows, right? Or maybe she's not involved and she doesn't know. Or maybe she is involved and she does know. Let's say she is involved and she does know. Again, if it were me, let Candace go off. As of right now, Candace has said nothing that implicates Erica Kirk in any way whatsoever in any court of law. So as long as Erica Kirk is smart enough to keep her fucking mouth shut, then, okay, great. Candace will bark at your heels for as long as she can get eyeballs on this series, and then it'll disappear into the ether like everything else, okay? And if you're lucky, then you're able to use whatever information that Candace puts out to your benefit and flush a lot of these people that are in your organization out. You get to clean house. She will flush the rats for you, okay? Candace Owens is that terrier. You let that terrier loose, she will flush the rats, all right? You can use that to your advantage. You really can, all right? And if Erica Kirk is smart, that's what she's doing, whether she's involved or she's not. But to bring up Erica Kirk becoming CEO and asking, why do you care so much? Like, Candace, you might be mentally inhibited. You really might. And honestly, again, I talked about this in episode 1. I do think that Erica Kirk, being the pageant girl that she is, deeply mismanaged the optics of her widowhood, right? Like, if you're going to carry around the kerchief and the handkerchief to dab at your eyeballs with, then be the widow Kirk, okay? You got to drop this. This is where the Hillsong tie, in my opinion, caught her toe, okay? The Hillsong tie caught her toe because they're too flashy. They like going out there. They like being Liberace on stage and flashing around the cash and saying that this is how you know that I am a successful Christian, because I got the bling, okay? I am such a successful Christian in prayer, and my prayer has so much juice that look at all the sparkle it got me, all right? She needs to tone back down on that. She needs to tone that back down, because you have to remember the United States is founded on two things, okay? We're founded on Protestantism, which is the Quakers and the Pilgrims, who didn't like bling on anybody, okay? And they dunk a hoe in a pond until she was dead if she had too much of it, because she might be a witch, okay? You got that Puritanism, All right, that is a founding ingredient, ladies and gentlemen, and we cannot get past it. It just is what it is. You got that Puritanism, and then you've got the snake oil salesman. All right, and those are the two key. They are two foundational ingredients to America as a country. It is part of what makes us so great. It is part of what catches us up, but it is an inherent part of all of us. I don't give a shit what race you are. It is just, it do be what it do be. Okay. And if you are a flashy evangelical preacher, there are associations with that, okay? And they aren't good. They come back to scammy, religious, revivalism, right? Like that is a thing. Like sketchy snake oil revivalist preachers who are looking to separate you from your dollar are a dime a dozen in the United States for those two exact things, Protestantism and snake oil salesmen, all right? And so if you don't want to be associated with that, Miss Widow Kirk, you better start wearing black and you better stop looking all spangly and save the fireworks till after you come out. Okay, you come out, you do your little thing, and then you let the fireworks happen. Okay, you got to find a way to separate yourself from this spangledy, newfangled, new age religion Elvisness, okay? It's not cute and it's not doing you any favors, and you have to realize that there's only about 150,000 of you in that Hillsong church, okay? You are a blip on the radar when it comes to religion and Christianity across the globe, all right? You got to work within contrived norms. But anyways, and then for her final piece de resistance, okay, Candace brings up an interview that Erica had with Barry Weiss, which, like, I can't stand Barry Weiss. Like, I really can't. Like, a lot of these, like, new heads. Same with Chloe Mal at Vogue. Ugh, whatever. And she pulls up this interview with, asking, like, oh, how do you meet somebody in a metropolitan area when you are a very religious person? And Erica's mindset was just like, I'm not here for that, right? Like, I'm not going to find somebody who aligns with my views and what I want in life in this area, so I'm just not even going to think about it, right? And then she says, oh, she met Charlie because of a work interview. And she wasn't thinking about Charlie in that way because she compartmentalized, like, this is work, this is business, and, like, that's that, right? Which I think is very normal. And Erica says that the only reason that she was able to eventually spend time around Charlie, and she gives credit to God for this, is that she got into a business interview, like a business situation with him, right? Otherwise, she would never have been around him because that just wasn't something that she was looking for. And then Candace is like, oh my God, like, what? Like, and then she immediately says, who is the Lord? Is it Lori? Like, saying that it wasn't God or like spooky particles or just right time, right place that they met. It was Erica Kirk's mother, Lori. Like, I don't know. And like, what? Like, what? Like, what are we even talking about? And then she starts saying, like, and who's the intended audience for this, right? Like, what do you mean who's the intended audience? Like, there was literally an audience there that asked that question. Like, that's who the audience is, Candace. Like, the audience is the audience. Like, Erica Kirk gave that question at a town hall where there was an audience, who the person who asked that was from the audience. Guess what? There's the audience, right? But Candace is like, nobody would judge her if she was just like, you know what? I was down. I was like Candace. I was down at One Oak. I was eating pizza at 3 a.m. in the morning at Artichoke, which, like, y'all, honey, which one of us from this time period was not doing that? Okay? Which one of us wasn't? All right? Because, girl, like, this doesn't make you hip just because you were able to pop this off, Candace. Like, dime a dozen at One Oak, all right? And One Oak was not great, frankly. It was kind of lame, in my opinion. But Nobody asked, and as far as I know, it's not even there anymore. Actually, let's look into that. Let's look at that. Is One Oak still there? Oh my God. Are you kidding? No, it's permanently closed. I knew it. I knew it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I hit you and like fucked up that audio right there. But like, oh my God. It's closed. Like, man, y'all. Seriously. I have no words. So Candace is out here being like, Erica, we know you were all out. Like, why couldn't you just say that you were out at One Oak and it, you know, artichoke pizza at 3 a.m.? Because she might not have been. Like what? Just because this is what you were up to, Candace, doesn't mean that that's what everybody was up to, all right? Like, your girl did it. I think I did it like a handful of like twice. Not even a handful, like twice. I did the One Oak artichoke 3 a.m. thing. It's not great. It's not fun because One Oak was always kind of lame. All right. So like there are hundreds of thousands of people in New York who lived here who didn't do that. And we already know that Erica Kirk is like ultra religious. Like there are interviews with her and Charlie where Charlie and her agree that she is more conservative and religious than he is. Like, baby girl, why do you think that this chick who has spent like admitted hours like literally reading the Bible cover to cover multiple times, which like, y'all, I'm sorry, been there, tried that, it ain't that good. All right, it is like, of all the literature that exists, that's what you want to try and like chug your way through. Personally, I think it is an exercise in self-hatred and I just, no. And my beloved granddaddy does that, okay? It's the only book that he really loves, all right? And I respect that. I respect that that's where Erica Kirk wants to live her life. But to say that that kind of woman would be living the same life as apparently Candace Owens did, sweetheart, again, way to project, because I'm so, oh my God, like what? She's just trying to be like, oh, there's no expectation that she never dated anybody and this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, Candace, maybe her definition of like dated is different than yours, right? Like you can go on dates with somebody, you can like date somebody for, you know, a couple of months. But even to me, like there are plenty of dudes that like they made it past, you know, first date, second date, third date. But like, I still don't say I dated them. I don't, because it was over in a matter of weeks, right? If you can count your relationship in weeks or months, I don't think you need to count it. Like, we're adults. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe in Erica Kirk's mind, like, saying that you dated someone is like an ex-boyfriend that you were with for an extended amount of time, like years, right? Like, you celebrated yearly anniversaries, right? Like, you thought you may end up getting married. Like, maybe to Erica Kirk, like, that's dating, right? Like, I don't know. Candace is just out here really showing herself, right? Yeah, and then she's trying to say that, like, they had a different that Erica had, like, a boyfriend that was not living in New York, and, like, I don't know. And then she tries to sell you, like, debt help, right? Like, I think that's it. I think we can cap off this episode. We're almost at 60 minutes, but, like, yeah, basically that's my read on all of this. It's highly entertaining, but, like, Candy girl, you're really going to have to tie this up into a much cleaner bow a lot quicker, because as of right now, you got nothing. Okay, you got nothing but the fact that Erica Kirk's mom may or may not be a fraudster, and that Erica Kirk competed in pageants. Wow. And is an evangelical. Wow. Tell us something we didn't know. But anyways, that's the video for the morning. I'm going to probably have to film another one later, but Yeah, there we go. Bride of Charlie, part 3, a review. Peace out, guys. Bye. Oh, and don't trust anybody. And it doesn't get any better than this.